Hello and welcome to the first installment of the Duma podcast. On this podcast, we're going to be talking about Big Ten sports, mostly Big Ten hoops, weekly rankings, weekly news, and everything in between. A little bit about myself. My name is Sully. I graduated from the University of Iowa earlier this year. I've always loved college basketball. This is always something I've wanted to do, so I figured this year I would pick it up. Luckily, I can now pick it up with one of my good friends, Zach. He's also my roommate. Zach, if you want to, give a little elevator pitch about yourself, kind of what you do and whatnot.
Well, what's up, y'all? I'm Zach. I've known Sully for, 3 years now?
Give or take, yeah.
Started at Pizza Hut back when a young lad was in high school.
Hey, whipping dough, bro. That's what we do.
Graduated 2 years ago, and now I am a carpenter for Allied Construction. And this is something Sully said that he wanted to do for a long time, and he pitched me the idea, literally last night, and we kind of just last minute threw this together, but I think this could be really fun. I'm open to it, and yeah, I think we should you want to just jump right in?
Yeah, no, I'm totally game.
All right.
So yeah, let's see. So we're just going to, I'm telling you, I want to keep these super short. I don't want the long, dreadful listens by any means. We'll make it a short and painful listen instead. So, starting off here, Zach, I got a question right here. Conference champion this year. I think I already know the answer. Yeah, we'll just jump right in. Who do you think preseason? I guess technically the season has started. We are recording this on November 9th, so there have been one set of games for 13 of the 14 teams. But yeah, as of right now, who do you got as your number one at the end of the year?
Well, Big Ten wise, it's a pretty biased pick. I'm a fan of Illinois, but they've got, and I mean we'll get into Illinois a little bit later in a different segment, but that's my pick. I'm gonna go with Illinois.
Illinois, yep, and that is a safe pick for sure.
I think they're coming back this year. I think they could do really well. I do.
No, yeah, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm not agreeing.
All right, what's your
all right. I'm just
number
kidding.
one?
Nah, this is highly controversial, and it could really bite me in the butt. I'm going off history. I got Wisconsin coming out on top. I think defensively, they're always a solid team. Always know how to reload. Greg Gard, one of the GOATs.
Yep.
I'm not a huge Wisconsin fan either, so I don't.
Yeah, neither
want
am
I don't want to make it seem like, I'm like a ride or die. That's just I'm going off history here. It could really bite me in the butt. I think Steven Crowell could be a huge impact for them this year. I think Tyler Waugh, obviously, you know what you're going to get. Solid defense. He could pick up his offense as well. He averaged around 10.5, 11 a game last year. Chucky Hepburn, point guard, very solid. So I think they have the core to build around. And defensively, they're always there. So that would be my pick for sure. Moving on here, power rankings. I'm not sure if you had any made. But
yeah,
if you want to,
I kind of got a list.
All right, I say if you want to run through it, you can run through your top whatever. Go from there. I did complete a full one. I'm not going to talk too much about it in depth right now, but I do have one set.
I'll just go. Let's just do a top 5.
Yeah, go for it.
Obviously, at my number 1, I've got Illinois, right? And then I'm probably going to go Michigan at 2. They're always solid. You can always bank on them. And then I'm going to hit Wisconsin. I do think they're going to do well, but I don't think they're a number 1 team.
That's fair.
And then I'll probably go with, I don't know, Minnesota looked pretty good. I might slide them into my 5 spot.
That's bold.
I think they could be good.
You might get memed big time for that. But if you're right, you'll look like an absolute genius. So.
Exactly. So, there's always those controversial picks.
Yeah, so, I'll respect it. I mean, they have a potential all Big Ten player in Jameson Battle on their team, but that would be hell of an accomplishment, I will say. I'd love to see it. I will say that'd be hell of an accomplishment. So, and then that was your 4, right?
Yeah. So 5.
Not the 5.
Oh, I haven't done too much research this year. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, that's what the pod's for, bro. That's what this is gonna be for.
I'm gonna slide Michigan State in there. I think they could be a contender. Actually, you know what? We're gonna switch. Let's go Minnesota Michigan State switched in the
All
4
right,
and 5
so you have
spot.
Minnesota at the 5 spot going into March.
Probably could have included Ohio State in there. They
Maybe.
could be good.
Yeah, I think the rankings this early in the
I'll
season.
give them an honorable mention.
I mean, yeah, at the beginning of last year, it's like they had Michigan at the top. They picked Wisconsin to finish 10th, and Wisconsin ended up winning it again. So that's why I'll never bank on. I'm going with the safe bet.
Yeah, that is.
And honestly, you can't go wrong with it in their recent history. So that was kind of the reason for that pick. Well, I suppose then rounding back.
Start with
So
your
top
list.
5, yeah. A top 5 for me, just off the jump, Wisconsin at 1. I got Michigan at 2. Hunter Dickinson. That's probably my favorite for Big Ten Player of the Year. I think he'll get his 3-point shooting even at a higher clip than last year. We already saw a lot of improvement from 2 years ago into last year. At 3, I'll have Illinois. Watching them play, they're going to be probably the highest ceiling for sure. But at 3, I think, is a safe pick as well. They could definitely win the whole thing.
They could
the
blow.
Big
They
Ten.
could blow it out of the water this year, dude. They
And-
could be seriously good.
They're athletic enough to hang with any team.
Well, I mean, look at the height.
They're 6'8", 6'7", all the way around the board. And then you got Sky Clark, the new point guard. Watch him play. He's quick. He's a little fast paced right now and everything, but I think he'll settle it down.
Turning the ball over a little bit.
Sky tuning the ball over, man. Nah, bro. All right. And then we got Terrence Shannon Jr. I was a huge fan of him at Texas Tech. Threw down one of my favorite dunks of the year last year for sure. I think it was against Kansas. That was pretty gnarly. And then Matthew Meyer, again, Baylor guy. A huge addition to their team, especially for shooting. That's kind of been their do or die in the late years here. And losing, Trent Frazier, that was big. But moving on from them, Indiana will take my 4 spot. I think with them, their ceiling is pretty much capped out. They had the same lineup last year, and they kind of limped into the tournament, got blown out. I'm not sure how much different it'll be this year. Personally, I mean, the league is a little weaker per se, but I don't really see them exceeding any expectation for sure.
No, I think that's a good 4 spot.
Yeah, I just don't really see what they could do. They shot the ball at around 33% last year from 3. It's not bad, but
It's not great.
you got to help out your big guys. I mean, they have one of
True.
the most dynamic front courts in the Big Ten, but nothing. Again, I just don't see it turning into much more. And then 5, I got Purdue. I think if you got Zach Edey, Caleb First was huge for them off the bench last year. I think this year he will also make large strides to be a real contributor for them. It looks
Big
like
dude.
they also got another 7'2" guy.
Yeah, no, I
Will
think
Berg.
that's good for them.
Will Berg.
It's gonna be hard to defend.
Yeah, for real. Zach Edey's also like 7'5". I swear 7. Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah, that
it's insane.
motherfucker's tall.
Yeah, he's a big boy per se. But yeah, so that'll round up my top 5. Other than that, I mean, anything after that, probably after the top 4 there, I mean, it's really up in the air. I do think Wisconsin could bite me in the butt with that, but
No, but the top three, I think
yeah.
I think it's going to be very close.
yeah, I think that's pretty safe to
Or
say.
there's going to be one team that just completely blows it out of the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a Rutgers or a Penn State, they're going to be the one that really could surprise a lot of people. Other than that, most of these teams, like what you see is what you're going to get. Ohio State, 5 new freshmen, they could be very good, surprise a lot of people. It's hard to gauge this early in the season, but Rutgers as well. Defensively, where they're going to be year in, year out. Caleb McConnell, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Paul Mulcahy, I just figured out that he was like 6'4". I mean, that's a big guard, and I've been a pretty big fan of him. I like the way he plays. And then Cliff Amore, obviously he's probably top 3 bigs in the Big Ten for sure, behind Edey and Dickinson. Could be a team to watch out for. But looking back, I mean, bottom 4. I think putting Minnesota at 5, pretty risky, bro. But it is possible, I will say. I think Northwestern, with a core coming back, they could be solid. Chase Audige, I do like the way he plays as well. He hasn't really shot the ball the way probably a lot of the fans have wanted, but he's bound for a big year. Boo Buie had a 3-game tear in 2020. I want to say 2 years ago. I just remember they played Iowa, and that was when he was on his tear there. But losing Ryan Young, I didn't know he went to Duke, but he did. I didn't think he was caliber for Duke, but hey.
Hey, props to the kid, bro.
I'll tell you, that's a big boy, and he was decent, I think, at Northwestern. But I mean, if Duke wanted him, I guess he's better than I thought.
Did he make the starting spot?
Oh shoot, I couldn't even tell you. I'd be surprised, but I know I'm gonna look, and then he will be. But Pete Nance going to North Carolina, I could see that he will probably get a good amount of minutes there. He was their hands down best player, night in night out consistently. But looking down Nebraska, dead last, bro.
Yeah,
they lost. Every year, it's like they get a full, fresh roster of transfers, and
are expecting good things to come about.
No,
and
no, it's not.
It just doesn't happen. It's kind of like their football team. I mean, they get ranked. They get ranked very well in the top 10 each year, and then they end up shitting the bed every time.
Yeah, being a Nebraska fan, that'd be tough.
Yeah, it would be very hard.
Genuinely, I think that'd be tough.
I feel for y'all, whoever. If y'all are listening, y'all are Nebraska fans, man. I feel for you.
Yeah, I got respect for ride or die for your team, but I did like what Dan Dockich. I don't think he calls for ESPN anymore. I think he got fired. But the way he had kind of compared it to, it's like you get all these transfers from like junior colleges, D3, D2, who are the guys on their team, right? And they're good players, and then they'll bring them to Nebraska, and then you got 5 individual players that it just never meshes. And I think that's kind of the thing that's been tough about their program is they get all these transfers. It's hard to build around 1 year, 2 year players.
Yeah.
And Fred Hoiberg is our coach. He used to coach for the Bulls.
Yep.
And I think he just doesn't really have a lot to work with. But I do expect probably a hot seat.
What do you expect? These people don't know each other, and they're coming in, trying to figure out, and then they got to figure out the play style of their teammates so they can enhance that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know exactly.
And I think they're putting the players in a tough spot.
Yeah, especially.
I mean, also when you're coming up from a JUCO league to a D1 school,
it's a big jump.
That's a large jump.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys could be like the best player in all of D3 college basketball, but he's a 6 or 7 man in a D1 school. You know what I mean? It's a completely different league.
Yeah, but a starter at Nebraska. Tight beat. If you pick up my drift.
Yeah, no. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I understand.
But yeah, I'm jumping all over with these power rankings here. Just highlighting just teams as we go.
And these are gonna fluctuate each week.
Yeah.
Depending on play and record and stuff like that.
I do like Penn State.
You do.
Genuinely, I do like Penn State. I think they could be a underdog team as well. Having Miles Dredd last year, solid defender, overall solid player. I mean, night in, night out, you had a combination of guys. Sessoms is gone. I really like the way that he played as well. Seth Lundy, solid as well. And then Jalen Pickett, I mean, also preseason, they're thinking he could, get that all Big Ten rank. And fair enough. I think he's a solid player. I think it is possible for sure. Michigan State, I think you had in your top 4.
Yeah. No, I had them at 4. I think, going up against Gonzaga,
mm-hmm.
I think.
And we'll touch on that later.
It's going to be a good game.
It'll be telling.
It's going to be a good game.
It's always hard to tell early, but one thing I will say,
unranked Michigan State.
Yeah, they always rattle off early. I'm be honest,
do.
they always get big wins early, and their schedule, I think, dude, they play Gonzaga, Kentucky, and they got like 2 or 3 other ones that are just like, holy crap, like these guys.
Those are hefty. Those are big games.
It potentially could be one of like the hardest schedules in the beginning of the season, non-conference in a while.
That's crazy.
Team, for sure. Moving on to Michigan State, AJ Hoggard, Joey Hauser, I think had 18 in their game the other night. Bigger guy, wing. He's a solid player. Tyson Walker, the quick point guard. I think he could have a pretty good year.
Very fast.
Really good year. And now I hate to talk about it, but my Iowa Hawkeyes. I don't know if you got to watch the game, but played
No.
Bethune-Cookman or whoever. I think they got Indiana next, which will be tomorrow, Thursday, November 10th.
What do you think there?
Oh,
Think Iowa catches
Indiana,
the dub?
they'll be fine. Yeah, they're really small, Bethune-Cookman. Like they're just a bunch of guards. They got
Iowa's three ball could look good this year.
It could. It always seems to. Their offense is never an issue.
It has potential.
Yeah, I just think this year more so. Offensively, they will not be as good as the past.
I
2
don't
years.
think so. They lost Keegan Murray,
The
who's
GOAT.
now on the Sacramento Kings with De'Aaron Fox,
True, your boy.
my boy, big De'Aaron Fox guy. Yeah, funny.
Nah.
But
Yeah, I think. Well, Tony Perkins, you know who that is?
yeah,
I think he had like 16 or 18. Really solid all around game. I think he's gonna have a huge year. I'm not saying
love to see it. Love to see it.
He could probably outperform Chris Murray. I that would be my guess. Murray still had like double digits, like 14, 16. I think Perkins is going to be what Iowa needs to, compete in the league for sure.
I think for the Big Ten this year, I think post game is going to be the number one, or the three ball. Besides the three ball, get that out of the way. I think post play could be most important.
It'd be the battle of the bigs for sure.
Paint points are the most important. I think
Zach Edey, big
anybody
guy,
can
the
shoot
big
the
guy.
three ball, but how are you going to get your points?
Establish the paint for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be Purdue's biggest thing. Having such a big dude, Zach Edey, who I was just talking about. If they could shoot the three ball, they'll be right back where they were last year.
Teams
doubt about
stuff
it.
that big guy, and you know what? Their scoring is going to slow down a lot.
Yeah, because their offense probably will go through him. I know he had only played 22 minutes a game.
Yeah, but he's really good for those 22 minutes.
Yeah, but he's going to have to play more. They lost their other big guy. I know they brought in a freshman. And I doubt he will play as much as what he would need to play. So
Yeah,
they
no, I
probably will be
agree.
running small like a lot of the time. For sure. And then Northwestern.
Yeah, but when
Edie's
Edie's in,
Yeah, no.
the defense has to step up. Rebounding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
That dude will probably pull down.
If you're a smaller squad, shit out of luck.
That's Iowa, where they're gonna run small. I think 6'9", 6'10" is gonna be their biggest guy.
Yeah.
We got big guys on the bench, but it's they're not gonna be able to compete with a lot of the bigs in the Big Ten. Okay, keep
A lot of good
rolling.
ones.
Here. Maryland. We hadn't touched on Maryland. I know you probably don't know a whole lot about Maryland because they weren't too solid last year.
I don't think they're gonna be solid this year either.
No,
I'm not expecting a good performance out of them really.
they got a lot of holes to fill for sure. They lost
Yeah.
Fats Russell, a super quick guard, super fast. I remember watching Toussaint and Fats Russell go at it. I thought it was awesome to see two quick guards. Eric Ayala lost. I know he was a veteran for them, a lot of experience. Lost there. There's just too many holes to fill for Maryland, so I got them also at the bottom four there. Trying to see if we haven't. I think we've touched on every team here. Just scrolling through.
Ohio State, did you cover them?
Yeah, I guess I can go back. I'd only kind of noted the 5 freshmen they have coming in. I saw an interview with Chris Holtman. He said all of them are probably going to play decent minutes, right when they get there. So it'll be interesting. They could be a really boomer bust type year for them, I would assume.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I don't really know how to feel about them yet. I'm
No,
gonna feel it out with these freshmen, see what they can do. You know what I mean? But ultimately, five freshmen coming in, and
Yeah.
they're gonna get really good minutes. Probably not going to look too good.
And if they can, build around that, they could be a powerhouse in the next couple of years. You get a recruiting class like that, it shows something. Pockets.
5 in the
I'll
top
say
100.
Nah, they might got some money. They're probably throwing some money for them.
Cap space looking good.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
about to say they got some cap space, dude. If they're pulling that.
Yeah.
Golly,
No,
I'm-
5 out of the top 100.
Yeah, that's Duke number, Kentucky numbers. But they do it every year. So to me, that's less impressive than Ohio State doing it. They've
They're
competed
not
in.
they're not a
NCAA.
great team.
They got a good program, like a decent program.
They do have a good program, but
like
in
elite.
past years they have not been there.
No, and they have made the tournament in the past 4 years. So
Yeah, but they don't go
that
anywhere.
is respect.
It's like 1 and out.
I know that was probably pretty loud there about my mic. But get that back on. There we go. Yeah, so I guess moving on here, I had a little segment. We were going to talk about, a couple games, try to get some lines going. I could try to pull up one of them. Oh, yep. I put my phone next to the mic so it starts to static. I don't think I'm going to be able to find. There was no line for the Michigan State game.
I think
would like to talk
Gonzaga's
about
going to
that.
win that game.
Yeah, I would like to talk about that.
It's number 2 Gonzaga.
That's fair.
Timmy, he stayed.
Yeah, he's gonna have a good year as well. I think he's gonna have the Luka Garza syndrome. He's gonna tear it up in college. Probably not do too much, in the NBA.
I think he's a G League NBA player. I think he's a really solid G League player.
A bigger Ethan Happ, if you remember him for Wisconsin.
Yes,
Remember?
yes, I do.
I think that's a pretty fair comparison. Just a bigger version, and a better. I can't even say better all around player. He was
Frank Kaminsky type. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He did really really freaking well in college back in the day.
He's still playing decent minutes. He's had a long career.
He has
in
had a
the
long
NBA,
career,
but I know what you're saying. Like, not
he has not been good.
that guy. He's
se.
just not him.
Yeah.
Kamhimski. Nah, bro.
No, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I can't pull up the lines, but it is an intriguing matchup for sure. It'll definitely be, can Michigan State's bigs keep up with Timmy? Can the production around, Sissoko, for Michigan State, of course, be enough to at least keep it close? I don't have the confidence. I do think it'll be a close game, probably till about the 10-minute mark in the second half. I think Gonzaga will rattle off a couple, probably win by 12. That would be my final guess. Probably not a super high-scoring game.
No, I think it's going to be
80s,
a very defensive game.
I think it'll hit 80s.
Zaga's had a very good defense numerous times in the past. Multiple year 1 seed team.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Getting the 2 seed out of the gate.
It's also too early to tell, man. I'm gonna be honest. I think Michigan State could surprise some people. I think they'll keep it close. I do think Gonzaga
I do
wins
have them
outright.
in my top 5. I did put them at 4.
Yeah, no, and I do like that pick. Tom Izzo, never bet against the dude. I don't really like him per se. But he's all right. He's all right. But yeah, other than that, I think the other game I had on here was the Indiana Bethune-Cookman game. I was gonna try to find an over/under. I couldn't find anything as of now. Indiana gonna blow them out of the water, I would assume.
Yeah.
So it's hard to touch on games right now.
Early season, easy games for most people, unless your name is Michigan State.
Yeah.
But
they do got a tough one going. Tough schedule going. But I guess that will probably wrap up our first episode here.
did you want to touch up on some football? The Bulls are coming up.
That's true. I guess for football, it's pretty clear cut. Until Michigan plays Ohio State, there's probably not a whole lot to talk about. Illinois lost to Michigan State.
Yeah.
So it's so weird this year. I don't even know if
it has been pretty weird.
Iowa stinks. I know that's a biased opinion. It's not biased. It's a realistic opinion, but biased in the terms it's been hard to watch.
Yeah, Petras does suck.
Yeah, and he's killed my love for football.
Geethan did that for me. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that was Spencer Petras, bro.
Yeah,
did that for me. No cap. But yeah, I don't really, unless if there's anything you want to highlight on the football games going on.
No, I think this has been a good first podcast. I've enjoyed being here, so I think this is fun. I'm looking forward to the future weeks.
Yeah, and this week was a little more dry than what it will be. Even next week, we start actually getting into the season and a lot more to talk about. But other than that, if you did listen today, obviously do appreciate it. And I am very surprised you're able to make it this far. But every week we're going to be uploading one episode, probably 20, 25 minutes. I don't even know how long this one's been going on for, but definitely tune in. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. And I know it's early to talk, but if it comes down to it, it would be awesome to get a community together where pretty much you just rip on us, just make us look stupid. Like I'm thinking a Discord or like even a Facebook group, just questions, or if you guys definitely disagree with everything we said, I think it'd be awesome just to hear you guys just rip into us.
We love controversy here, so
Yeah.
we love to hear y'all's opinions.
And it's not intentionally, but obviously a lot of people are very much more smarter than us. But
Right.
for me, it's just fun to get what I have to say out there. If someone agrees, so be it. If someone disagrees, all right, cool.
Love to hear your opinion.
Yeah, literally. Like it ain't even like that. It's just fun for me.
Most of the shit that we're gonna say is opinion. So like,
Yeah.
don't be too harsh, but like, you get my drift.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put my glasses on and statistically overload somebody. I think that's annoying.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Personally.
with that either. I think this is just a nice little, fun little stat, if you will. Just like it's just stats
Yeah.
and predictions.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. If you're listening, leave feedback, write a review, whatever you got to do. I really appreciate it wherever you're listening. And like I said, I know I already said it, appreciate the listen. Tune in for the next week's episode, and go Hawks, baby.
Yeah, we are gonna do this every Wednesday, so tune in.